The simulator genre is growing every day. There's simulation games for everything from farming to mining to warehouse and logistics. True story. Today we're looking at a phenomenon of a simulator game. This is the one, the only Goat Simulator. Because what would you want to simulate if not a goat? Do your goat thing, do your noise. He does an uncanny goat.
It's pretty good, right?
That is really good.
I played this game maybe a little too long because there isn't a lot in this game. There's the one world and you have a lot of achievements or little accomplishments that the game wants you to do. It is almost like a tutorial at first, like do this, do this, do this. But there are a lot of things that it just doesn't tell you how to do. There's a lot of discovery in Goat Simulator. I have to say though, this game's not very realistic. It's supposed to be a simulator.
Well, you know, that was my huge disappointment. I expected I was going to walk around, eat grass, be milked, sleep at night. No, I mean, this is a goofy, crazy game. It's by a little Swedish studio, and it was actually, I think, begun as a joke. It became a reality. It's essentially a physics sandbox in which you play as a goat, and you run around and you headbutt stuff, and you headbutt cars, you headbutt people, and you smash through windows, and you latch your sticky tongue onto stuff and whip it around. It's a huge physics toy box with you as a goat. It's silly, it's nonsensical, it's buggy, it's a little shallow, but I mean, it is one of a kind.
It is one of a kind. We've seen a lot of pretty cool, funny games lately, like stuff like Jazz Punk, and of course South Park, The Stick of Truth. And this is another take of humor, but this is humor that is played out depending on how you play the game. So you actually find the humor. You're just this goat in this little suburban type of area.
Suburbia,
And at first it's like, oh, this area that you're walking around in doesn't seem too big, but then suddenly you find yourself hitching a ride on a fan and jumping up, and now you're on power lines, and there's just all kinds of crazy stuff to discover in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of props, and it's just full of locations for you to explore. You can go inside houses and smash stuff up. You can go inside this anti-gravity test facility where you're basically like on a half pipe doing goat tricks in your like limp ragdolling goat body.
It's like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in a way, right?
Like a goat. This is one of those reviews where you could take any quote out of context and people would be like, what the hell?
I don't think I stopped smiling while playing Goat Simulator.
I mean, it's a fun game, but it is a one-trick pony. It's a one-trick goat. You just go around, you smash stuff. There are achievements you can undertake or objectives you can undertake, like go up on the hill, knock the boulder down into the barbecue, which was fun. It's a silly game, but I gotta say, after about 4 or 5 hours, I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with Goat Simulator. It's really not too deep.
It's almost like playing a 3D video game for the first time. We went from 2D video games to this 3D world, and now we're like, oh, what can we do in this 3D world? Like, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And Goat Simulator is kind of a revisit to that kind of mentality where you want to see how far you can go, and you want to see if you can break the game. All that said, I think 4 hours is a little bit generous in terms of getting tired of the game. I mean, I got tired of it after about an hour or so. Well, I never knew that goats led such interesting lives, and I'm glad that Goat Simulator is here to give us some insight on the plight of the modern-day goat. Overall, this game isn't that bad. Sorry for the pun, I'm just kidding around.
Is kidding a goat pun, or is that?
Kid is a goat pun.
Oh,
a baby
man,
goat's
you're terrible.
a kid.
What are you gonna give this simulation of goats?
7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's kind of a one-trick goat, loses its luster after a while, 6.5 for me.